Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Pint podcast. It is me, Lucas.
And me, Nate.
And this week we have a wide range of beers that we're going to be sampling.
I think honestly it goes from coast to coast with these beers.
Haha, it does. Let's see what you did there.
Yeah, right? So yeah, we got various beers here from various states, all provided minus one from Lucas, but all provided from family members. So two of the beers are from my sister-in-law, one is from my wife, and one is from my hometown.
Then there's cool, like the whole town got together and got you a beer.
Yeah, it was we have a yearly get together. We all sit around a table, with our pitchforks and our straw hats, and we sit there and we cut the turkey together.
I mean, you don't live in rural Ohio, do you?
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
Every time you think that that's what you think.
I mean, and just maybe you're on your Rumspringa and you're living in Columbus.
Exactly. That's what it is. No, I live in a town pretty much probably the same as where you live here. So,
yeah, civilization.
Mm-hmm. You can travel a few feet without seeing any corn. I promise.
Oh, okay.
Yep. There isn't corn every square foot.
I enjoy that after living in up in Bowling Green, and just that apartment complex that is smack dab between three different cornfields.
Like house, cornfield, house.
Yeah.
Cornfield.
So this is weird that we're not doing this on a Saturday.
Yeah, we're filming in the middle of the week on a Tuesday. The middle of the week.
Yeah. This is so. How was your day of work of shaping young minds for the future?
Oh my gosh, yeah, we can actually talk about our day on the podcast. That's a real thing. I shaped mines, I'll tell you that. I shaped mines.
Did you teach them maths?
I math taught them.
You math taught them?
I math taught them. Order of operations.
I was talking to Alexis a few days ago, and she made a joke about a math teacher or something like that with numbers.
Me, right?
No, it wasn't about you.
Okay.
Because that's why I'm telling the story. I was like, no, I don't do numbers well. I'm not Nate. She goes, what are you talking about? Like, Nate's a math teacher. She goes, Nate's not a math teacher.
Oh. Dang.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm like, no, he is.
So the joke was at my expense. Okay. Cool. No, we learned about planting today. We had
planting.
Yeah, we had someone from Columbus City Schools who does a lot of agriculture stuff with Columbus City Schools came in, and I know you're thinking agriculture with Columbus City Schools. What? No, came in and taught the kids how to plant.
That's pretty cool. What did they do? Did they do the egg carton with the green bean? They put that.
No, I didn't do that. We had actual pots. We had soil. We did basil. I'll say
cool.
Basil. Yeah,
cool.
What about you? How was your day at the brewery?
My day at the brewery was fine. I transferred a beer to a bright tank, and then I cleaned the fermenter, and that was my day.
Really exciting stuff.
It really is. It really is. Because a lot of brewing is just waiting.
Yeah,
like with the when the tanks are full, I mean, we can't really.
It's such a long process too. I can imagine.
Depending on the beers,
downtime. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
I always imagine brewers that when they have that downtime, they're sitting in a room with a big notepad and they're just coming up with a bunch of ideas for different beers.
No, but I do have to come up with a list of names for the beer that.
Okay, well, even that, the creative fun side. Oh, so they let you guys come up with the names for beers?
Well, since this is even though I didn't really help with the brewing process, I helped with the. Well, I mean, it's just sitting in a fermenter right now.
So is this your summer beer?
Yeah, my summer beer.
Yep. Is it the watermelon?
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of names for that now. It's a good thing that we are doing a wide range, because do you know what this week is?
I feel like I probably should, but no.
I sent you a picture of it.
Is it Brew Week?
It's American Craft Beer Week.
American Craft Beer Week. I thought it was last week. Is it this week?
No, it's started yesterday, and it goes till the 16th.
Huh.
So, going to be awesome to try a wide selection. Well, I don't think, because most of these are, I guess, pretty similar. I guess.
Similar in what way?
No, I mean, like, we're not doing any dark beers today, I guess, right?
Oh, what was that? What was the?
That's a pale ale.
Oh,
Pale
yeah,
ale,
I think
sour,
all...
blonde ale, wheat, and that's a farmhouse ale.
All right.
Have you ever had a farmhouse ale?
No, it'll be new. Oh wow, what's that look? All right. Hey, that's what this is for, right? Trying new things.
Yeah.
Opening up the mind of Nate. And pouring beer in it.
So do you want to get started?
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you want to start with?
Well, I was thinking 3 of these are already in the fridge, so if we want to grab another cold one and just replace these, we can do so. I say we start with either this one or the one that you were providing. The Sibling Revelry Brewing. Westlake, Ohio.
I mean, we can do whatever.
Let's go ahead. Let's start with yours.
Okay.
Let's just work our way down the list.
Okay.
Yeah. Why not? All right.
I don't think I have one of these though.
Oh, well, then we'll just do that one next.
Okay.
All right. What do you want to tell me about? Do you know anything about the Sibling Revelry Brewing?
So I've had that beer before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you get it because it has
No, it's one of my favorite beers from them.
Augusta in it? Augustine? No?
No,
that wasn't it.
No.
Okay. I thought it was Peach Wheat Ale.
This is one of my favorite beers from this brewery. They have a mocha one, which is my favorite. I thoroughly enjoy that one. But this one is my go-to summer beer from them, and I always pick up a couple of 6-packs.
Limited batch. So this is just okay. So it's not a limited release; it's a summer release.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess in a way a limited release. I guess I associate limited releases as being like 2 weeks and then it's over. Ooh, it smells good.
Yeah,
I just got a burst of smells.
It's very light, very easy drinking, and quite refreshing, honestly. And it's got a lot of that peach flavor, and I'll say that confidently.
Yeah. I can really smell the peach.
Mm-hmm. They make a lot of good beer, and I think they're underrated. These guys, when we first started selling them at the PG Beverage Center, we couldn't keep them in stock.
Where is Westlake, Ohio?
It's outside of Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Towards Central Ohio?
I don't know.
Okay.
I
shouldn't ask you to explain Ohio locations.
Oh, in a couple of weeks, I'm headed to New York, so I'm gonna be picking up some New York
beers. I love that smell.
It's so good. This is one of my dog walking beers. I'll say that. When I come home from work, Tom needs to go out. Just grab one of these beers and walk around the apartment complex.
Do you have to put it in a paper bag, or do you allowed to have open?
I don't know.
Beer containers.
The cops can't come here, so.
Well, fair enough. All right, let's go for it.
It just tastes like
I don't get as much. Really?
You don't get that strong peach flavor?
I definitely got a lot more like the smell, but the taste.
Are you getting more weediness? Or are you getting?
I'm getting more weediness.
I get peach up front, and then it finishes wheat for sure. Well,
I mean, I can get a little bit of the, maybe just a smidge of the peach, but more of it, more wheat, if anything, for me. Which is, it's still really good.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, it is incredibly smooth.
And it's 4.8%, so. Where's the can? Where'd you put that?
Okay.
Tell you a story about the can.
All right.
It appears that they have changed their label.
Label, not logo, but just like
the label for this beer.
Oh, okay.
Because I had it when we started carrying them, they had a different label.
Mm.
I don't know if maybe it's just cost wise, because this appears to be more of a sticker that just goes on the can. But their old label used to be the jacket that you get at the Augusta. The Masters, is that what it is? The golf?
Oh, the Masters?
Yeah. The
golf
green,
tournament.
the green
is
jacket.
it green?
Yeah.
Isn't it gold or is it green?
No, it's green.
Is it green? Okay.
It used to be that logo. That like it
Oh,
used to be
gotcha.
their jacket, and that's why it's their Augusta.
I'm not gonna lie. Where is the Masters held? Is it in Georgia?
Augusta.
Is it held in Augusta?
I think so.
I don't know. I don't know golf. Pretty sure that's the one where you swing the bat and you hit the ball out of the park.
I don't. I guess. Now I have to look it up because now we're gonna sound like idiots.
When has that ever stopped us?
I guess that's true. The first thing that pops up when I type "where are the" is where are the kidneys located?
Something you should always know. Because if it gets harvested, if you wake up and it's been harvested, you need to know where to look to make sure.
Yeah, they play in Augusta. Temporarily closed.
I didn't know there was an Augusta in Georgia. So
We do now.
I do now. I am learning. The more you know, right? It's delicious.
In Georgia, there's a lot of peaches, so.
That I did know, thanks to House of Cards.
This is just a fun summer sipper. Isn't Wadsworth
Very light.
close to Cleveland?
Closer to Akron, but yeah,
Isn't
about
Akron's
a
not.
25-minute drive to Cleveland.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
I mean, it's not terribly far. Probably. Well, now that I think about it, maybe 30. But yeah.
Didn't we have another sibling rivalry? Did we do their pecan? Yeah. Yeah, didn't we do their pecan brown ale on the Christmas episode?
Did we? I don't recognize the name, the sibling rivalry.
Gotcha.
But we could have. I just don't recognize their name.
Oh wow, we finished yours already.
Well, I also had less, but that's good. I'm even gonna go ahead and just give it my rating here. I'm gonna give it a high S. Only because I wasn't getting as much of the peach as I was getting from the smell.
Okay.
But like the wheat taste was incredibly delicious. It was very light, and I think what you said about the just walking your dog with the beer, that's perfect beer for that.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna give this one a T. This is definitely one of my go-to beers, and ever since I've been introduced to it, I think about 2-3 years ago now. I always find myself going back to it. So
let's go over to this one here. Since Stay Crooked. It's from Crooked Crab Brewing Company. This is out in Maryland.
Has nothing to do with the Crooked Can Brewery.
Nothing to do. Yeah,
Nothing
so
to
it's
do.
not. You might want to look into that. Make sure.
Yeah, I'll talk
make
to
sure
legal
you guys
tomorrow.
don't have any legal issues there. Odenton, Maryland. So this is one provided by my sister-in-law, and I've had this one, but I also has been a while and I can't remember it too well. It's a West Coast inspired American pale ale, boasts of smooth. What did I say? Did I say something wrong?
No, I just like that it's a West Coast inspired when it's on the far East Coast that you can get.
Smooth balance of bitterness from citrusy, Cascade, and Cashmere hops. It looks like it's video game themed. I don't know much more about that. I don't know if that's the brewery or if that's just the beer itself.
No, I don't know.
I don't know either.
That was a weird
That was probably the strangest pop I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's pretty weird artwork, honestly.
I like it.
I like it,
cool.
though. Yeah.
I could be totally wrong. This is just me thinking outside the box here, but it smells like
Is
like
West
the
Coast inspired?
It smells West Coast inspired. That's what it is. No, it honestly.
How much did you take?
Probably not enough. We have 5 beers, and one of them is an 8%.
Ooh.
I don't want a repeat of the
the 420.
the 420. It almost smells like the sweetness of that milk sugar. You know what I'm talking about? Have you smelled it yet?
No, I haven't. I'm finishing this first one.
Usually when I think of like these kind of light colored beers with like I don't know. I could be totally like out of mind there. It smells sweet. Do you get that? Or am I completely out of the ballpark?
I don't.
Or in the ballpark, foul ball. I don't know baseball.
I don't think you're out of the park.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like it's got like that sweet
It,
smell.
if it's a sweet, I would imagine it's more of like the sweet from the malt.
Okay. Okay.
But
Usually that's a smell for some reason I associate with like a sugary.
they shouldn't have any lactose in it.
Okay. It was a American Pale Ale.
Yeah.
Okay. Then maybe it is. Maybe it's just the type of hot.
The
Cascade.
I don't know.
Well, we won't know until we take a drink of it, I guess. So let's go for it. Okay, not at all. Once you drink it.
Yeah. No, there's no sweetness on that.
No. Then the smells throwing me off a lot.
Well, maybe it could just be left over from the peach wheat. I don't know. Just playing tricks on your mind.
I guess now now you say that, now that I gotta smell it again, I guess I'm not getting it as much.
I mean, what do you think of this one?
It's a little. It's got a little bit more bitterness than I was hoping or expecting, I guess. But I think it's still incredibly smooth. The bitterness does stay with you though.
What's
know your
what?
thought?
My thought on this?
Mm-hmm.
My thought on this. I don't really like this beer.
Mm-hmm.
And the bitterness, it's almost the same bitter that you would get from drinking an unsweet tea. I'm not getting like a hop.
You get bitterness from unsweet tea?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's just not sweet.
Huh.
I mean, this just, I don't really like it. I'll say that. I don't.
Oh, that's fair enough.
This is not for me.
Well, I actually enjoy it.
I mean, yeah, maybe it's just me. I don't.
Now, so this West Coast inspired, is that why it has that bitterness to it?
I would not even consider the West Coast inspired this. There's nothing really.
Really?
It's supposed to be that West Coast hop bite, I guess, but I'm not even getting. I don't know. I just. It's not that hoppy.
Your brain.
It's not that hoppy. It doesn't have like that piney taste to it that I usually associate with West Coast IPAs.
Mm.
It's also very light feel in the mouth. I don't know. I just didn't really like it.
We'll put it on your rating. What's gonna go for your rating?
A low O.
Okay.
Like if we went there, I'd maybe try it in a flight, but I wouldn't get a pint of it.
Mm.
I don't know.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I mean, I enjoy it, but I am still like I'm not fully on board with it. I actually haven't. I'm between like a low S and a high O for it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just I don't know if that is the factor. These were canned a while back in March, but I know that's also the same for I believe this one as well. So,
Huh. I
don't think that should be a big
no
factor in it.
no it shouldn't.
But
because the hops would tend to die off about 6 months in. So, I mean, we are well within that. Yeah, this is just...
I mean, I don't mind it. I think the only thing that's keeping it on that fence for the ONS is just because it, like, the hop taste just kind of stays. You're not getting any hops. Is that what you said?
No. I'm
okay.
getting hops, but
okay.
there is nothing that feels West Coast
gotcha.
about it.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't be able to distinguish that very well. But the hops, the only thing I don't like is that the hops stay in my mouth for a really long time. Like,
I don't even have that.
Really?
Yeah.
I still get that. I get kind of like a very mild, piney taste in my mouth. But I'm not getting that. That's bizarre.
No, I wish I was. I wish I was.
Huh. I'm really intrigued by that. So, what are you gonna go for that one then?
I said a low O.
You're gonna go for a low O? I'm not. Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know. It's so weird.
That we're getting two different reactions.
But I'm also trying not to let you get in my mind without it either. Because, like, I don't notice anything wrong.
I don't notice anything wrong either.
Yes. Oh, well, then what's the... Oh, you're just more...
I just don't like it.
Like, oh, okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
I just don't like it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just not for me. I mean, to me personally, it doesn't feel citrusy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting...
Oh, you know, that's...
It says citrusy on the damn can.
I forgot it said...
yeah, West Coast inspired. I'm not
I forgot it said citrusy on there.
Is it supposed to be a combination of an East Coast, West Coast beer?
It's really throwing you for a loop there.
It is. It is. It doesn't fit in either of those ballparks. It's not citrusy. The hops are there, but they're not. It's just... It's a very blah beer.
I don't think it's bad though. Like I could still drink multiple of these with no problem. I mean, yeah, I'll gladly finish yours if you like me to finish yours. I had no problem with that. But I do feel like something's off, and I'm not taking off of what yours is. I do feel like something's missing or something's not there. I'll go with a high O on the fence of the low S because.
Also, we didn't explain what the pro system was.
We didn't, man. We were slacking. That's what happens
because we're doing it on a Tuesday. Yeah,
that's what happens when you do it on a Tuesday, right? Oh, I'll let you talk about that while I write this stuff down.
So, even though we're in our second beer, I will describe our rating system. Here on the Pint Pals podcast, we have our very own special rating system. It's called the Prost system. And each letter in Prost has its own meaning. P means probably won't drink again. R is regrettable. O is optimistic. S is satisfactory. And T is terrific. And
look at my notes. I drew a little fence between the O and the S. Because I'm on the fence form. Yeah.
I'm glad
I'm creative with my notes, okay? If you look at my 420 notes, you'll just know how good I am.
I just threw mine away.
Scribbling notes. I know you threw mine away. I don't know where mine are. Oh, mine are over there. Dang, let's go.
Okay. So are you ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
I want to end with this one.
You want to end with that one? That's fair enough. So let's do the Wadsworth Brewing, then we'll do the Farmhouse Ale, and then we'll do that one.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah, that works with me.
All right, so this next one...
Explain the sexy looking growler.
Oh, yeah. So this is a growler gifted to us from my mother-in-law. It on the side here, for those of you who are listening, you won't be able to see this, but For those who are watching on YouTube, you can see that the Pro system is actually on the side of this growler here that Lucas just walked you through, as well as the explanation of what it means. And then the other side, filler up Pint Pals. So yeah, this is actually the first beer that I've actually put in here. Because when we went to Finley and Bowling Green, I never actually used it. I was going to use it at the beverage center, but then we kind of just quickly got out of there. So
yeah,
so
I would have spent too much money.
Yeah.
And we have your bag.
So yeah, this beer here is from the Wadsworth Brewing Company. I don't know how long they've been around currently. I know I'm really slacking. Well, they weren't open when I was living in Wadsworth at the time, so but I did go to school with their son, so I do kind of somewhat know the family. So this is the Thelma Lou. It's a 7%. I'm trying to remember here. It's a pale ale. You want to check that for me?
Blonde ale.
Was it a blonde ale? Okay, a blonde ale. Double check that to be sure, but yeah, it's a blonde ale.
It was a blonde ale.
That's what happens when there's no label. That's why I don't do growlers. There's no label.
Hey, you're sounding a little ungrateful right now. Don't yell at Wadsworth Brewing Company because
I'm not yelling at them. I'm yelling at you because we looked it up and you didn't write it down.
It's blonde ale.
All right, blonde ale.
Yeah, that's what I said.
All right, so actually, I think so. I actually gave the card to them to see if we could do a future podcast.
First card he's given out.
First card. I finally gained
First
the
card
courage
he's given
to
out.
give a card out to someone. But I think you'll enjoy the owner because he is a huge fan of guess what show?
Always Sunny.
Series. We'll say series. It might be easier. Star Wars.
Oh, then why'd you say show?
That's why I said series.
Oh.
I guess series. Saga.
Is he a Star Wars fan?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huge fan. If you look at their website, you'll instantly notice that right away. So this one. So when I went in, and I asked about what kind of beer they would like us to do for the podcast. They suggested this, or it was. I want to say it's Lake Erie Monster. I don't want to mistake that for the Great Lakes. It might be the River Styx. No, it's the River Styx Monster. That's what it is.
Okay.
River Styx, yeah. Local legend.
What is that?
I don't know much about
Is
the
it
River
really?
Styx Monster. Yeah, it's a real thing. Yeah.
Isn't the River Styx the River of the Dead?
Yes, we dump all the dead bodies into the river. No.
That's what the river is?
We do a Viking style. No, it's called River Styx. That's what it's called. River Styx.
What is? The beer or
no?
There's a river in Wadsworth.
There's a river in the area in the area of Wadsworth. Yes.
Yeah.
It's called River Styx. Anyway,
but
I could be totally wrong.
That's River of the Dead.
Is it really? Is that what the translation is for?
No, that's not what the River Styx is.
Look at River Styx Wadsworth. You look it up and you give me a history lesson because apparently I don't know enough.
That's okay. Yeah, in Greek mythology, it's the River of the Dead.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, and you have to. That's why you put pennies on the eyes of the deceased. Because they give that to the ferryman to take them across the River Styx.
Huh. Interesting.
You've lived there your whole life, and no one's ever brought up the fact that it's the River of the Dead.
If I'm correct, I mean, like, I could be totally wrong. I mean, like, I didn't explore Wadsworth that much.
Did you just like?
I just existed, I was kind of like a shut-in, I didn't get out a lot.
Not much.
So not much has changed. It's impossible to get me to your house just to do this podcast.
No, it's not impossible. I mean, you're here doing it.
Yeah, because you're forcing me to.
Yeah.
I need help. Someone help me. Anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and dive into this one. So this is the blonde ale. Thelma Lou. Oh my gosh.
This is interesting.
Trying to figure out how to pour this. You want to tilt that for me?
Oh, and you spill all over my desk.
I never poured out of a growler, man. You're gonna attack me here?
Oh, man. Weak form.
Weak form.
Can't hold it at the neck and then pour. No.
It's awkward with this little thing here.
Awkward with this
all right,
thing
here we go. You go for it.
All right. Wow, look at that. It moves. Oh my god.
All right.
Holy shit.
All right, you
Oh,
win.
mind blown.
You win.
Mind blown.
You win. All right, sir. You win.
One-handed.
I yield. I yield.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, we are now hiring for another co-host. I will be leaving.
We'll leave the growler.
Leave the ground.
Oh, thanks.
I'm at least protecting the table, all right?
Protecting the table. Oh, yeah. You ready?
Give me 1 second. I actually need to have some water here real quick. Real quick. So this beer is named Thelma Lou, because it is it's named after the owner's mother-in-law. Also, when I went in and I asked about like what kind of beer to get, I never finished my story because we got stuck on River 6 there because of somebody coming after history that I don't know. This is a kind of a base for a lot of their other beers, and so they suggested this one. That and because this one was also 7 compared to like the 9, I think the other one was. It's a double IPA.
Should have done it.
Of course, why not?
All right, I'm gonna go. Okay.
I like that. What are your thoughts? You do that face. You do that face thing.
Well, I don't think I've ever had a blonde ale that tasted like this before.
Really?
I'm not saying that in a bad way. I just like it's definitely a little bit maltier, which I'm fine with. Like it does have that sweetness
I think
to it.
it's there's sweetness to it. I think what's really interesting is the fact that it's 7%. I don't feel any of that.
I don't feel any of that either.
It's incredibly smooth from start to finish.
Now, when you said that this was their base beer, what do you like? This is what they use.
They use for a lot of the other beers,
like for infusions or like.
I don't think infusions, and maybe it's my fault for not asking a little bit more about that. Like, 'cause at the time I didn't really know what more to ask about that. Knowing my expertise of the craft beer world, all I know is they just told me that this was kind of like a base to inspire all their other beers.
Well, it's a very solid base. I'll say that, and I feel like you can go in a lot of directions with this. I'd be interested to see if they use this beer as their shandy base, or if they make another one.
Is that common for blonde ales to?
Blonde ales, lagers. Yeah, the lighter beers. Usually what it is.
I really like this. I'm actually really glad that I've got a growler of this now.
Yeah.
I'm actually really enjoying this.
It's definitely something that you could just like sip on all day.
Yeah. I also think I got one of your dog's hairs in my drink. I watched it just floating there.
You okay?
Nope, I don't think I'm gonna be. Yeah, I'll be fine. It's funny you say that because so back in January we adopted another dog. His name's Kirby, and I mean you know this, but for the audience, and he's a very long fur dog.
Long fur.
Long coat. I don't know how do you say it.
Anyway, long haired dog.
Long haired. Okay. Anyway, sheds a lot, but like I feel like every time I walk into the house, any kind of air I'm breathing, I'm at least getting one hair into my mouth. Yeah.
Tommy is.
Surprised I haven't given like a hairball yet. You know.
Tommy's short-haired dog, I would say.
Yeah, definitely for him. He's got a like Tupelo.
Yeah.
Doesn't shed that much. He's also got a lighter fur, so it's a lot harder to see.
Yeah, but I'll be sitting in the on the couch or in the love seat, just like watching TV, and then he'll come up and just like stick his face. And I could be drinking something, and I'm just like, ugh, thanks, bud.
Thank you.
And also, he's gone after, like, if you set something in a cup holder, he'll jump up on the other seat and like look at you, and then go, and then start drinking from the cup, and I'm like,
Really?
you son of a gun.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't try that when we had all those beers just sprued.
Oh no, there
across
was too many people there to give him pets, so he didn't want to miss
Oh,
on that
gotcha.
opportunity.
Pets overdrink.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of. So I know. I feel like recently we had another blonde ale, and this is why I want to start my book of beers because I forget this stuff. I also probably should just do Untapped at some point.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's there for.
Lucas tries his best to get me on Untapped. Part of the problem is that my phone is very incredibly slow, and most of the time when I do go to put these beers in, it's at like 10%, and it's a difficulty to do.
So it's a funny thing you say beer book. Alexis got these for us around Christmas time.
Oh, you're just now giving it to me.
I'm just now giving it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Alexis.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good
Oh,
thing
look
you
at
said
that.
something about it.
It's a beer journal. I love it.
That's all it is.
Look at that. It's like almost Christmas in May. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, this we probably fly through this in about
3 episodes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love this. And it actually gives me like
You can have this one too.
kind of way. Oh, really?
Yeah, I do everything on
That's true.
Untapped, so.
That's true. So now you get to see me sitting here. Hold on, let me talk about that one beer, and I'll be sitting here flipping through.
You're like my dad.
Flipping through. Oh wait, hold on. Back one page. Here we go.
You're
This
like
is
my
the
dad
one.
with his he still has a date book. And he has a smartphone. And he doesn't use the calendar on that. He has this date book and he gets a new one each year. And he carries it with him all the time. Oh, something going on that day? Let me just flip to that page and I can write that down, fit you into my schedule.
Well, what I like about this is that it also gives me some keywords that I can use to describe the flavor profile.
Mm-hmm.
This is good. So you got a little cheat sheet for me here. Also, burnt. Is that a type of flavor profile? I feel like it's kind of.
I would
insulting
prefer
in a way.
roasty.
That sounds kind of insulting in a way. If I were to use this book to describe this beer, hold on.
Oh, it even has a 5-star
Smooth
rating
finish.
on the back.
Very smooth. What?
So 5-star rating on the
It
bottom.
does. I'll
A
change
little
it to
note
Prost.
section. Look at that.
Then we get these custom made to where it says PROST, and then you could just like color in the letter that you.
I'm sure we can get that.
Let's do that. That'll be a thing. Work on that.
Stuff I forgot.
I'd go with light, smooth finish. Honestly, I'm still working on trying to use words to describe beer, which again is the whole basis of this podcast.
Is so you can expand your vocabulary
I can expand my vocabulary.
and just learn about craft beer on the way.
Are you putting my vocabulary above the beer? Is that what you're doing right now? Or are you saying they're together?
They're together.
Okay.
So what would you give this beer?
Wow. Kind of on the fence because I'm just the whole reason I brought up the whole beer journal is because I got so sidetracked. Is because I was trying to think of all the blonde ales that we've had. I know I've had the Guinness blonde ale before, but we've had another blonde ale recently. I'm almost positive we've had one recently. I'll let you look that up while I talk about it. I love that this is incredibly smooth. I mean, this is 7%, which is a little risky because I've got a whole growler of it, and I feel like I could sip on this all day. Like, if I go back, this is gonna definitely be one. I know when I've been there before at the Watson Brewing Company, I've usually gotten a flight of different beers. And don't get me wrong, I like flights, but I feel like flights are only good if I am keeping record.
Mm-hmm.
of those beers. Otherwise, I'm not gonna really remember.
I drink so much beer.
Yeah. So I possibly have had this one on a flight at one point, but I just don't remember because I don't keep track of that stuff, which Lucas hates me for. And is the reason I'm probably going to get fired at some point in the future. But now that I got this little beer journal, I can actually do that. Incredibly smooth. Even with 7%, you don't even notice that at all. Overall, I like the taste. How would you, maybe you might be better, how would you describe, like, taste-wise on this?
I mean,
I think that's something I'm still kind of struggle, especially for beers that don't have adjuncts in them, because we talked about this last time that you've spoiled me over the months, like we've been around that long, over the months with with all these adjunct beers, and I think I don't really know how to really describe this kind of like baseline beers, you know.
so I mean, how would I describe this beer? I can't find any blonde ales, and
really.
I was past St. Patty's Day.
Really? Huh. Okay.
I mean, it tastes like beer.
Mm-hmm. That's what you're going for?
I mean,
okay.
It's not a hoppy beer, so it doesn't have that hops. I mean, when we have the Pilsners and when we have the lagers at 1487 or at Hofbrauhaus.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's
fair enough.
It's light, easy drinking. The mouthfeel is quite pleasant. 7%, that's definitely the highest ABV I've ever had with the blonde ale.
Well, if I were to give my rating, I'm going to give a very... I'm like on the fence of an S&T. I'll get a very high S.
I'm going to give it an S as well. It's it's a very good beer. I would like to try some of the other stuff that they use as like that they use this as the base for. Very easy drinking. Like, this is something I would, just sip it on the porch. Hot day. Lawnmower beer.
Oh,
perfect option for a lawnmower beer.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. All right, we want to move on to the next one here?
Yeah, let's move on to the next one.
I feel like we got really sidetracked on that one.
Yeah, we did.
All right, so this is the Manor Hill Brewing. You gave me a weird look when you asked me if I've ever had a farmhouse ale before.
They're different.
Huh?
They're different.
Can you explain, like, what do you mean by that? Like, they're different. That's like a type of thing, like...
So, farmhouse ales were created. The reason that they're called farmhouse ales is that it's the natural bacteria. When beer was fermented in ye olden times, they didn't exactly have the best facilities for it. So a lot of these fermenters were left open, exposed to the elements. So a lot of the natural bacteria yeast.
So is it a good way to describe it as like a less upkeep on the equipment? Is that? I mean,
no.
not saying that they do that in general, but like, is that the ideal? Is like,
do you need another glass?
I wanted a smaller glass. You gave me these two big ones, but I'm realizing we picked the smallest can for me to do in the biggest glass. So I just figured I'd clean this one out real quick.
Well, here, just use this.
It's fine. This one's fine. Okay. It's good. Yeah, let's clean it
up. So farmhouse ales, they're going to be sour, but not sour like the last one's going to be, or like the Urban Artifact sours are going to be.
So this actually is this.
Yeah.
This is a sour. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So this is probably soured with a bacteria strain called Lactobacillus.
Lactobacillus. Ooh, I like that word.
And
I like the sound of that.
if that's soured, if they're going the traditional farmhouse ale, it's going to be like the natural bacteria sours. So that's going to be tart. It should be tart, funky, and sour, but it's different sour compared to like a sour ale.
You think it'll still be okay?
That should be fine.
It should be fine. Okay.
Because it's, what does it say? It says it's grisette.
That's the name of it, right? Grisette, I'm guessing.
I think that's
So Farmhouse Ale by Manor Hill Brewing, located in Ellicott City,
so
Maryland.
a grisette. I'm sure we're butchering it.
Sure.
Is a variety of beer originating from the mining regions along the border of France and Belgium. So
interesting. Now you've piqued my interest here. I want to dive into this now.
Well, I'm gonna let you know farmhouse ales usually aren't my thing.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So I just googled farmhouse ale, and this is what it says. It's probably a better definition than I gave. Farmhouse ale is an ancient European tradition where farmers brewed beer for consumption on the farm from their own grain. Most farmers would brew for Christmas and or late summer work, but in areas where they had enough grain, farmers would use beer as the everyday drink. Let's see here.
Smell-wise, I'm not really noticing anything like vastly different than what I'm used to kind of smelling with beers.
It's supposed to have like funky flavors like wet hay or earth. It'll also be tart like an unripened strawberry and leave your mouth crisp and dry.
Wet hay.
Yeah.
A taste like wet hay or a smell like wet hay? Because I've never tasted wet hay.
Well, it's, like what wet hay would smell like, I guess.
Oh, okay. You piqued my interest. I really want to try this now.
They're traditional summer beers in France and Belgium. See, they're not really talking like... Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it.
Don't like it, don't like it?
I
don't know. He's already going with a negative mindset.
Not going with negative mindset, but I looked over at your glass and I saw it, and I'm like,
You saw it.
Yeah.
It's definitely very...
That coloration.
Odd coloration.
And I'm sure this is... Manor Hill Brewing, if you're listening to this, I want you to know, if I don't like this beer... I'm not going to look down on your brew. It does say keep cold, drink fresh.
Yeah. Well, as fresh as we can get it, right?
Okay. So what's that smell like to you?
Honestly, I don't know.
Oh, you got floaties in your glass?
Do I? Do you? No?
Yeah. I do.
Really? I don't see any. I see one little one down there. a little floaty. What were you describing with the smell?
I am getting that. I don't know.
I've also had really bad allergies in the past week, so
I'm getting the funky smell.
I do agree with you. This is definitely not a smell that I was saying earlier. Like, this is not a smell that I normally get when I smell most of the beers. So it is different and unique compared to what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
This is just... I'm so intrigued. I really want to try it.
Go ahead. We can go for it.
For it?
Yeah. I hope I didn't put any negative.
I think you were really strong about it, but I don't...
What do you mean really strong about it?
Like, I feel like you were really attacking the Farmhouse Ale
I
area. And I mean, is this a Farmhouse Ale? Is that what you're getting from this?
I think it would have more of that strong, pronounced flavor if this beer wasn't from February.
Fair enough. It does say drink fresh. It has been a while. Unfortunately, we've been so busy with all these other things.
Right.
Our schedule's been very busy with different breweries and different events that I did have to put these off, unfortunately, for a little while. I'm getting that strawberry idea that you were talking about.
The unripened strawberry.
Yeah, like the sourness of that.
You're getting sour?
Like the soury taste, kind of. Now I'm not getting like a sour, but like, I mean, unripe strawberries taste sour.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm associating with.
I'm getting very dry.
I get dry.
Which is something I tend not to like in my beers.
Mm.
Like the whole reason why I don't like any brute IPAs, and I'm glad they're not a trend anymore.
Is that a champagne thing? Brute?
Yes.
Oh.
It was IPAs, and they used the champagne yeast in them to make them dry. And I was like, I had a whole bunch because of where I worked at the time when they were popular. We would get samples and try to sell them, but my God, they did not sell.
I think as like a style of beer, I appreciate this.
Go on.
Yes. So like the way you were describing how the beer was used in France and what was the other place? Belgium. Like as it, I mean, I kind of think of like, I almost think of like with mead, you know, it was something that the monks used and was made by them. Whereas like this, I feel like it's something that farmers use, and they made it as a way to have some kind of drink on the farm. And so it's not like these typical beers that have become more mainstream. Because obviously it's not. It's not like
this was your only option.
Amazing. Yeah, like I mean, in a way, like yes, if it's your only option, like if you went through, it's like prison wine, you know, like if that's your only option. You go for it. I'm not saying like in a negative way, right? I'm not trying to say it in a negative way. I'm saying like just for like the aspect of drinking something like this. Like I've got to experience farm ale now, which I could add to my book.
Your book. What about prison wine? Have
My
you been
book,
able to experience
right? I have not experienced prison wine. Are you gonna be able to get that at some point?
Probably make some.
What is that? Made in the toilet?
Yeah.
I don't hate it. Would I like if I had a selection of beers ever go for a Farmhouse Ale? No, it might be the last thing I'd put on my roster of types of beers.
Usually, this is another thing. I don't think I've ever seen a Farmhouse Ale in a can before.
Oh, interesting. Go on.
Usually I've seen them in like the single like glass bombers and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But hey, you know, kudos to them for.
I don't hate it. I mean, it is very, 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 very light.
Mm-hmm.
Like, very light. I don't hate it though. Like, all right. So, I mean, I can't really say much more than I've already said about this.
Mm-hmm.
How I feel. I'm gonna go with a low S. What?
Low S?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it an R.
Really? Interesting.
And that doesn't mean that Manor Hill Brewing Company from Ellicott City, Maryland, makes bad beer. I just don't like the style's not for me. The style's not for me. I would not have this beer again. I avoid these like the plague because I just don't like that funky flavor, I guess. I mean, it's probably the same. Like, I don't like Belgians as well because of that clove and that banana-like flavor.
Yeah.
I don't like it like for that, but this
I mean, it's nothing like
I just don't
extravagant
like it.
and exciting. There's nothing really exciting about it.
No. It's
For
very
me, the reason
different
I give
style
it a
than what
low
we've
S
had
is
on the
because I've
store.
never had a farmer's ale, and like I would be interested to try it with other farmer's ales and have other ones, see if there's different tastes to them. But
It's a farmhouse ale.
farmhouse ale. Sorry, farmers make it, but it's a farmhouse ale. My bad.
This is
I don't
very
know.
very
It's a
different beer than
it's
what
an
we've had
experience.
on the shows.
For me, it's an experience. I know
Yeah.
you've had it before.
Haven't had this one.
You haven't had this one, but you've had a farmhouse ale.
Yeah.
I just think for me it was an experience. I don't think it was bad. It wasn't a bad experience at all. I would not, if this were on tap compared to all the other stuff, like I wouldn't pick this first. I don't even know. It might be last, honestly, but I don't hate it.
It's just not my style. I'm sure they make good beer.
No, it's not about anything. You got it.
No, I know. I just
We know that's.
do I ever think that Manor Hill Brewing is ever going to?
We know that's the rule on
I
on
know,
the
I
podcast
just-
is that
Ever since I've started working in a brewery,
our opinion does not reflect what other people's opinions might be of the beer in their experience. That's the rule.
I know,
that's
but
the golden rule.
Yeah, but the whole time we were pouring it out, I was like, I hate these beers.
Even though you hadn't,
beers, and I hadn't had it yet.
that.
It's but I don't like the funky flavor. I don't like that what's supposed to be that sour or that wet earth or hay flavor. I just didn't like that.
This is gonna be a blessing, but you know what? That used to be what I said, and you're gonna laugh and you're a joke, but like that's what I used to say about stouts. I didn't like stouts at all. I wasn't a big fan of them at all. And so it's possible maybe there's one out there that you will find that you will like. I'm not saying there is, but it's possible there could be a farmhouse somewhere out there that you might like. I know let's say you're probably gonna joke at me and snicker at me.
No, I'm not.
But
there could very well be.
I didn't like a lot of stouts until you introduced me to one that I did like, and then
Which one was that?
I couldn't remember. All I know is I like stouts.
Oh, you didn't have your beer book then.
Oh, wow. Oof. Well, I would have had this back in December if somebody had delivered it on time.
You would have.
So really, it's not my fault. All right. Which moves us on here to our last one.
And don't pour that one.
Don't pour this one. I already got a cold one.
Yeah, cold one.
That's fine. So this is Island Sure Burps. I actually really like the bottom of the thing. Cause it's been a while since I've actually read the bottom description.
Oh, you didn't read this one?
No, what did it say?
DJ Jazzy Fresh.
I don't think I get.
I don't get it either.
I don't get the reference, unfortunately.
Harvest time.
Okay, that makes sense. I get that one.
In February?
Packaged.
Ha.
Anyway.
Ha.
This one here says Burp the Rainbow.
Cool. I've been excited about these. They've been sitting in my fridge, eyeballing me.
Must be kept cold at all times and consumed fresh. So
oh, we did that.
Anyway, it's an Imperial Sour Ale with guava, pineapple, passion fruit, mango, dragon fruit, and milk sugar. I'm not a big fan of dragon fruit. I don't hate it. I just never been a big fan. But do you like sherbet?
Yeah.
If you were to pick ice cream, sherbet, or frozen yogurt, which one would you pick?
Ice cream.
Really?
Yeah, what would you pick?
I might go for frozen yogurt.
I never had frozen yogurt until I came to Ohio.
It's an Ohio. It's not an Ohio thing.
It's not an Ohio thing. It's just never had access to it in my area, I guess.
Huh.
you're gonna have frozen yogurt over ice cream.
I mean, it is situational on what type of like
God, I haven't had frozen yogurt in
ice cream
forever.
it is.
I
think
think
what's
since I lived in Finley, I haven't had frozen yogurt.
I think what's great about frozen yogurt is that you can. I mean, most frozen yogurt places you can like do a bunch of different cool combinations. I mean, I know you can do that at an ice cream place, but I don't know. Frozen yogurt, just something about it is just a lot like.
I think the reason
smoother.
I don't like it is because they trick you.
They trick you.
They trick you.
How so?
How so? You go to an ice cream shop. I'll take 2 scoops. Here you go, sir. That'll be $3. You go to a frozen yogurt place. Here's a bowl. Go get whatever you want.
Oh,
and
no,
then we'll
it's
weigh it
100
at the end.
Oh yeah, no, it's 100%. You're gonna get screwed at the very end. That's 100% the part of the deal.
If I am left to my own devices,
so what you do is, you take the bowl up there, and if it's not what you want, you quickly eat a little bit, and you're like, okay, now can you weigh it for me and tell me what it is?
oh, so it's like going to a gas station, getting a one of the sodas, and you always gotta take it, and then you sip it.
You sip a little bit of it.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm just making sure it's the one I want.
Yeah,
and
and then
make sure it doesn't overfill, and then fill back up. Yeah. Ooh. Wow. I can smell.
So what are you gonna talk about? How we got our hands on this?
Yeah. So this is from where are they located? Was this in
California?
Was this California?
Yeah, it's from your wife.
Well, I know, but they also went to many estates on the
Many
trips.
estates.
Many estates. They went through several states because they drove from Ohio all the way to California, so it could have been from any of those states.
I just had a sip of it, totally forgetting on how we do things.
Totally did. It's cool. Not gonna see your expression here. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't. I guess it's from Alvarado Street, but it doesn't actually say where they're located.
It does.
Does it? Where? Oh my gosh, it does. All right, Salinas, California. Usually, whenever I see these small words, I just associate with the government warning. I don't read that. Anyway,
So you didn't.
oh,
You didn't say the story.
You said it already. All right,
the story.
All right, so the wife went out to California to take a best friend out there. Best friend was moving out there. And wife brought us back a nice 4-pack of this.
There you go.
Although consulted Lucas about what beer to get and not me, because that was a smart move.
Because that is a smart move. Because I answer my phone.
That is also very accurate. All right.
It smells delicious.
It does.
It smells very good.
You've also already tasted it, so.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. All right.
That is delicious. Now see, I sound like an asshole now. I sound like...
Why? Beer snob over here. Nah.
Well, I mean, think
No.
about it. Think about it. The ones that I'm going to give the highest rating
Ones you picked out?
are the... No, not the ones I picked out.
Oh,
Are the
okay.
ones with adjuncts in them.
Fair enough.
And
No,
personally...
not true. I mean, I guess there are adjuncts in that one. Yeah.
Personally, I prefer... I like the Pilsners. I like the Kolsch's. I like the lagers. But I just didn't like the base beers this episode, I guess. As much as I like these.
Fair enough. Just spoil them, that's all.
Yeah.
Just spoil
Yeah,
them.
I'm going to drink candy beer.
There, boy.
Oh, man, that's so good. It's incredibly good.
I just really like that color.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the can, so you know what you're getting on the inside.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, it's kind of disappointing because you know you're not going to get any more of this.
I do have 2 cans of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. Technically, this is the can. This can was yours. You put mine in the fridge.
Oh, okay. Trying to steal from me. I mean, we could get this again.
If we drove to California.
No.
Do you have a
I
beer
got a
buddy?
contact.
You have your hookups.
I have my hookups in several states.
All right, look at that. Not all 50 though.
No, not all 50.
I can see a lot of the sediment.
Yeah.
See a lot of it at the bottom.
This is definitely just a fun dessert beer.
Mm-hmm. I do want to talk about, because there's so many different things in this. I'm getting the pineapple straightforward, but passion fruit, mango, dragon fruit, and guava. I honestly, I can never distinguish guava. I don't know.
I'm getting like sour pineapple, but like I'm getting fruitiness, but like the same fruit that you would get in a fruit punch.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I guess that makes sense because you do put sherbet in fruit punch, right?
You can.
Like the big bowls of it.
Yeah, like at a dance, you put the
yeah.
Or at parties, you put biscuits and sherbet.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Nothing.
No. Were you the person that spiked the punch bowl at the dance?
No. At
okay.
the dance.
If you went to a dance, that is.
I went to all the dances.
Lucas was the one by the end of the dance, had his shirt off and was just sweating profusely.
No, I was just always sweating.
So sweating.
We've been to weddings together. I was at your wedding.
You were at my wedding.
Oh.
What do you mean weddings? As if we've been at multiple.
No, we haven't. Just that one. That was yours.
One of those people. We've been to plenty of them. It's been to one.
Well, I mean, it doesn't even really count because you couldn't.
You didn't go to any of the Bluffton dances?
I went to one.
Did you? Was there really one?
Yeah.
It wasn't the Haunting of Neufeld, was it? No. That was a good dance.
No such thing. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I did go to that one.
I got the Haunting of Neufeld. I'm sorry, the Haunting of Lincoln.
I didn't go to that one.
You weren't at the Lincoln one.
I went to
that was a great one.
I went to the one in Neufeld though.
Neufeld wasn't bad. That was before
I got in trouble. Even though we were in college, I had an inappropriate costume.
What was your costume?
It was a sperm cell.
Okay.
I wore all white, and on my shirt it said Fallopian Swim Team. I got in trouble for it.
That's surprising, seeing as there wasn't any faculty there. It was all students.
Yeah, it was all students, but
who reported that?
Fucking.
Anyway, for another time.
Who was the hall director?
I don't know. At the time, I don't know who it was at that time.
But somebody came up and spoke to me. And I was like, yeah, I'll go change. So I went and put something else on. I think I put on a Flash t-shirt and I just came back downstairs. I was living in Neufeld at the time. And I don't think I was the student body president. I think it was the hall director.
Huh.
Baseball player.
Couldn't.
He came up to me and he thanked me for changing because I was making people uncomfortable. Because I was a sperm cell. And then I wore that same costume in Bowling Green, and everybody thought it was funny.
Well, that's also Bowling Green. Let's be honest here. Oh, it's this one. This is what it is. Bowling Green.
Talons up!
Talons up!
Talons up!
Talons up!
Alexis! Talons up!
Anyway, let's go ahead and rate this one here.
My fiance's alma mater.
Our whole time in Bowling Green, we kept doing that at any point given.
Drove past campus.
Talons up. All right. Well, honestly, this is just overall a really good blend of flavors.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun dessert beer.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing though, with these dessert beers, it feels weird giving a tea, but I'm gonna go with the low tea for this.
I am also gonna give a low tea to this.
Really, really good, and the sourness is
pleasant,
spot on.
Yeah. All right. Are you
We'll
ready
move
to
on
do
to
the
our
beers of the night?
beers of the night. All right, so we're gonna move on to the beers of the night here. For beers of the night, we will rank all the 5 beers that we tried tonight, and it's compared to each other. So it has nothing to do with the rating that we gave for our pro system. It's how these beers compare with each other throughout the night, which I guess is technically still daylight, so it's not nighttime right now, but let's go for it. What would you put? We'll start with 5, which is our lowest one. What would you put for your 5?
For my least favorite beer of the night, I'm gonna give it to the Farmhouse Ale.
Okay. I can't say I didn't see that coming, but
Yeah.
I was actually surprised you took that long to think about it.
Well, it's that one or my next one.
I'm also gonna give it to the Farmhouse Ale, but I didn't hate it. It was interesting. But like I said, like with the Farmhouse Ale in particular, I would definitely have other things above that, but I also didn't hate it. So, what would you do for number 4?
Number 4, I'm going to give it to what is this? Pale Ale from Crooked Crab.
Okay.
I had to say it out loud in my
Crab.
head because I was gonna say where I work.
to be my hair, he works at the Crooked Can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you gotta watch out. You might want to again get with PR about that and figure out what's going on. Honestly, I think I'm in the same boat with that one. Yeah, I think I'm also gonna go the same with my number 4 for that one as well.
Okay. What are you gonna give for number 3?
Number 3, I'm gonna go with the sibling Revelry Brewing, the peach ale. I would think I think part of it that really threw me off is that it smelled like strong peach, but I didn't get the peach taste that I was hoping for. I know you said you got that, but I wasn't really getting that from it. What about you?
Number 3, I'm gonna give it to Wadsworth Brewing, the Thelma Lou.
Okay.
Very solid beer. Just enjoyed the other ones more. For number 2,
Number 2 will be the Thelma Lou.
my number 2 is going to be Shaburps.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that brings us to our number 1, which for me will be the Shaburps. I mean, I not to say like I'm biased, but I love sours a lot. A lot. So that was just that was a very solid, probably the most solid beer or solid sour I've had in.
What are you talking about? They've all been liquid.
Anyway,
I've been sitting on that one.
I hate you.
Sitting on that one.
I haven't told you how much I hate you in a while.
No, I know, but I'm used to it. I wake up and I hear it.
Yeah, it was just an all around really solid. There was just a lot of different flavors that kind of just pop out at you as you're drinking it. So, yeah.
My number 1 is going to be the Sibling Revelry Augusta Peach. I think it's delicious. It's full of weedy, peachy flavor, and it's one of my go-to summertime beers. So I don't know if that had some bias to it, but I thoroughly enjoyed the Shaburps as well, but just that peach. I'll also probably make it in my number 1 because I know I can get the peach again.
Fair enough. That is a good factor in there as well. I think I'll still probably stick with the Shaburps, but all right. Well, that brings us to our toast section here, which I'm currently very low on beer.
I am very low on beer as well.
Okay, so I got some of the blonde ale here. And I will pour it properly this time. All right, like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What is the first?
Did you just break my glass?
No, I didn't break your glass, sir. You did the same thing. Don't even at me right now.
Nah, I didn't. No video evidence of it.
No video evidence.
I edit these.
That's true. Delete the evidence instantly. All right. So toast of the night. I'll give the first toast here.
Okay.
A toast to my sister-in-law Cassie, as well as my wife Abby, for providing these beers, and I'll also give it to Lucas for providing one of the beers. Anyway, toast. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, I have a toast.
Yeah.
So you went to Wadsworth Brewing Company.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you give the toast on them, but Alexis and I, we went up to Bell Fountain for her grandmother's birthday lunch, and afterwards we stopped at Brew Fountain in Bell Fountain, and it's the #1 rated craft beer bar in Ohio, apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
How
it was
did
it was a fun experience. I thoroughly enjoyed my time there. So
Oh, nice.
thank you,
Cheers.
Brew Fountain, for an excellent afternoon.
Yeah. So my next cheers will bring me on to Wadsworth Brewing Company. And I've been there probably about 3 times. I've enjoyed all the beers I've had so far. I look forward to possibly doing something in the future to try more of their beers.
Mm-hmm.
I paid for this beer, so it wasn't provided by them. But I do greatly appreciate what you're doing, and I look forward to more in the future. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's bring us to our final cheers of the night.
Final cheers of the night is to all of you listeners. Thank you so much, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be doing this. So, thank you very much. All right, and that brings us to another end of another episode of the Pint Pals podcast. Just a heads up, we are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. And for all of the Apple listeners out there, giving us that 5-star review on Apple goes a long way, and for Spotify listeners, giving us a follow goes a long way. And that way you'll also know whenever we release a new episode, you'll get a notification about it. And on YouTube, if you
those of you looking at our faces,
yeah.
on YouTube,
that like goes a long way. And also, don't be afraid to talk in the comments section about maybe you disagree with something we said, or if there's beers that maybe you'd like us to try, or breweries that you'd like us to try. By all means, put that right down there, and any criticisms can go right to Nate. I think that's about it.
Yeah, and we're currently reworking our merchandise store.
You were trying to figure that out. Yes,
still trying to figure that out. But
yeah,
again, for next time,
maybe.
I make Lucas do all the work. So
yeah, Nate just shows up.
Again, that's all. I just show up and drink beer. But we appreciate it, everyone.
Yep.
We hope to see you all in the next episode.